Good morning, boys and girls, moms and dads, everybody in viewerland. These videos are for entertainment purposes only, and we're going to have a lot of fun today. Today our Generac didn't start. It did start, really, it did run, but I turned it off. So for today's event, we're going to pretend that our Generac, we have a power failure, and our Generac failed to start. So we always talk about Plan A is the power company, Plan B is the Generac. Everything's electronic, mechanical, and they could fail. So we do our due diligence taking care of this one, but for today's practical purposes, we shut it off, just simulate the red light. So it didn't start. So what would we do? Well, we would get our portable that we always see, the Champion dual fuel. So I just happen to already have it, and it's all hooked up to the building. As you can see, I have gasoline in it. But if our camera lady could come around here and get these numbers on the front, and take a look at these numbers. 93.75 starting, 7,500 on gasoline, 8,400 on propane, and 67.50. So a lot of people see those numbers, but nobody knows what they mean. So we're going to break that down for everybody today. So for my purposes, I broke down a sheet here, as you all can see. And you can pause it and look at it later, but we'll kind of go over it right now, but I'll explain to you what I've done. So I've taken my appliances that I'm going to run. The running watts you could find on the panel inside the appliance, or there's a general sheet that will show you. That's a good guideline. Nothing's perfect in the world. And the starting. So what you do is I have furnace, half horsepower. It's a Goodman. It runs at 800 watts, and the starting is 2350. That's 2350. And then I've done all my other appliances. So my total for all my appliances that I'm going to be running off this Champion dual fuel is 6780. And you take the highest running watts. Now, my sump pumps start at 2150, or 2000 roughly. So the 2350 is my highest starting watt. So you take your highest starting watt and add it to your running wattage, which gives me 9130. So with 9130 and 6780, as you can see on the dual fuel, 9130, I'm below that, and 6780, I'm below that on gas. But as you can see here, I'd have a problem if I was running on my LP. I wouldn't be able to run it. So what I've done is I've created a little sheet here. In the summer, I'm not going to need the furnace. So I cannot turn on my furnace, and then I'm at 8130, 5980. So I'm below my starting and my running wattage is without the furnace. And then the microwave is 8130, 5780 without the microwave. So it's below the 8400 and the 6750. So in the winter, if you had to have your microwave, you just flip the breaker for the furnace off, run your microwave, flip the breaker back on for your furnace. But then here's just some general guides that I made for other appliances, and if you'll take a look, that's the second one. And the microwave is 1000. I didn't rewrite that in there. The microwave's 1000. 0 starting watts on the microwave. So it's 1000 draw. I didn't write that in there. I just noticed that. But you make a sheet, appliance, run, and start. And that's how you figure out what you can run. So that's what those numbers mean. The other thing I'd like to add in is LED lights. I'm going to run 20. If they were all my lights were on off of this, 20 at 60 watt light bulbs. So if I was running 20 60 watt light bulbs, I would be running 1200 watts. It'd be 1200. But by running LED bulbs, a 60 watt is 9 watts a draw. So I can run 20 for 180. So if you switch your home lights to LED, you do yourself a huge favor too, and you save on your electric bill all the time anyway. So I've checked the oil on this. I've got some gasoline in it. We're not going to run it for hours today. If it was an emergency, I would have it filled. But I just got my usual little over quart in here to run it. So I'm going to go ahead and start it. And then we're going to go downstairs and do the transfer switch. There's different ways of doing this. This is one of the right ways. And we've talked about the interlock system that locks your main off and turns on the 220 for the generator. The wrong way to do this would be to run this into a outlet for your range, an outlet for your dryer, or a 220 in backfeed. You could hurt somebody down the line working on something. If they turn the power back on, they could blow up your generator. It's just not a smart thing to do. You have to turn off that main. That main has to be off. And I know some people out there have videos where they say you turn the main off and you're good to go and you can backfeed like that. That's not a good thing to do. So plan ahead, get the interlock or a transfer switch like we have. Okay, so I've checked the oil and the generator. So I'm going to go ahead and start her. So now I'm going to let it run for a minute, but I got plenty of time to go downstairs and do what we're going to do. Oh, let me get rid of this stuff. Okay, boys and girls, we're downstairs at the panel. As you can see, I have a yellow light on my HomeLink Generac device, my transfer switch. So you're going to want to shut off all the breakers. Just shut them all off. You want everything off. Now if you're in the fuse panel or your breaker panel and you have an interlock, it would lock the main off and it would lock these two off, and you would flip off every other breaker. So that's what you would do with the interlock. So now I'm going to push and hold my transfer switch, and I've just successfully transferred the generator power to this. This is off of city now, and it's onto this. So I'm going to run the sump pumps. You heard the generator outside kind of run. I'm going to turn on the living room. The sump pumps are my biggest draw, which is why I turn those on first. And then sump pump, my water heat vent. I'm not going to turn the furnace on today because we don't need it. Basement freezer. First floor lights. Now I can do fridge and microwave. So I don't have my furnace on. That's the only thing I didn't turn on there. So everything else here is running now off the generator. So we can see the freezer light is running. And all my appliances are running. So let's go upstairs and just see how our first floor lighting works. The fridge is working. My first floor lighting is running. Now when you're on a portable generator that has its limits, just because you have things able to work, doesn't mean you should have everything on in the house that you're not using. When not in use, turn out the juice. Save the electric and the draw on the generator. So you can see I have those running. I have this guy running. And remember, these aren't 60 watts a piece. Right now I would be running 320 watts of light bulbs. But because these are 9 watts, I'm running a lot less. So you could shut those off. So that's that. So we got our first floor lighting. We got our computer working, our TV would work, the Wi-Fi's working. So this is for an emergency situation where our Generac doesn't start, but we're able to still run our stuff. So as you can see, we have everything running. Other than the furnace, because we don't need it today, because it's warmer. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back to utility, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So, okay, well, we can pause it for a little. Okay, boys and girls, as you can see, we got the green light. You just simply push towards the green light because you're back on city power. And the light went out, so we're back to full city power. So everything's back on full city power now. But the yellow light showing our Generac is hooked up, and that's that. So we're going to let the Champion dual fuel cool off, and then we're going to go shut her off. So, all right, and since I have a Generac, the Generac is going to communicate with you, and it's going to let you know you don't have power, or the power's been restored on your app. So during this process, even though we've gone to the manual system, the Generac is communicating with you, letting you know that it's not starting and it's not running and it's failed and power's off, power's on, and all that good stuff. So that's what's happening here. So that's it. I thought you'd all like to see this today, and these are for entertainment purposes. Make sure you have a licensed electrician hook up your equipment and go over everything if you don't know how to use it, and educate you. Okay, boys and girls, I've shut the petcock for the gasoline off, and I let the generator die, as you can see, in order to make my disconnections from the generator in the house. So I'm going to want to disconnect everything with the power off, so you're not doing it live. And then you put your caps back in and on, and that's it. Have a good day. Bye.